Right, we left off with your picture Izuku and or Toga, and Toga had applied for Shiketsu, and Deku applied for UA, and they kind of split ways. But shit, um, well, let's get back into it. Basically, yeah, Izuku, he thinks, Inko, she says to Toga, why don't you want to go to UA? As she says, because I just don't want to do it, okay? Stop questioning me. And she runs off. As Inko asks Izuku, why does, I thought that was their dream. I thought that was you guys' dream, to go to UA together. As, Izuku says, it was. She fucking changed. As Inko smacks Izuku, and she says, watch your language. And he says, she can't just do that. I spent half the year training with her, having the same goal, just for her to do that. As Deku says, and it's all because of All Might. If he wouldn't have ever said that. As Inko hugs Izuku, saying it's gonna be okay. You guys will work over it and you get back along together. As Izuku says no. The rumor is there's gonna be a dorm system at UA. I'm living in there, and I don't care what happens to my room. Toga can have it. I don't care. As he tells his mom, or he basically asks his mom to just leave him alone. As Inko goes in there with Toga. As Toga overhears, she basically overheard what Izuku said. As she says, she starts crying, basically. As she says, he's gonna leave me, isn't he? As Inko hugs Toga, saying, Toga, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay, baby. As she says, no, we were supposed to be heroes, and I just shattered his dreams. Just because All Might. As Inko says, basically, what does All Might have to do with this? As she says, well, let me take you back. Backstory. Toga says, she basically just tells her everything. From how her and Izuku first met on their first day, to All Might, to everything. As she says, Izuku is the only person I have left. I don't want to lose him. As she says, then go to UA. Prove All Might wrong. Show him that you can be a hero. Matter of fact, become the #1 hero, Toga. I believe in you. As she never had this kind of motivation before. As she thanks Inko. As she hugs him. She hugs Inko. Yeah. Time skip the next day. It's breakfast. It's around 7:30 in the morning. And Izuku gets up. As he says, good morning, Mom. We're gonna go train. As Toga's sitting at the table. And she says, Izuku. As she says, he stops and looks at her. As she says, I'm going to UA. And she says, Izuku says, why are you trying to change your mind now? You already said that you were going to Shiketsu. Stop changing your goddamn mind. As he walks out and slams the door, as Inko is angry, as she says, as Toga looks at Inko, as she says, what am I gonna do? As, you know, Inko says, it's gonna be fine, sweetie. We have a whole month until the entrance exams of UA. You and Izuku should be on good terms by then. Time skip. Later that night. Or time skip a couple months. A couple weeks. Like a week into the entrance exams. Toga and Izuku, they haven't really talked to each other. They haven't been on good terms or bad terms. They just said they're just living, coping with each other. Basically. Yeah, I want to say that. But after Izuku, you know, he says, my bad for that fan. It just hot as shit in here. So I gotta use that motherfucker because I'm not gonna make this video and be hot, bruh. But yeah. He says, you know what, Toga? Actually, no. I'm just gonna break that story. No. I'm thinking of something else. My bad. Alright, a week is this. It was that a week from the thing. Alright. Even as Toga and Inko, everyone out there are sitting on the couch. As Toga's on one side, Toga and Inko on one side of the couch, snuggled up, as Izuku's on the other side. As Inko says, hold on, I have to take this call. As her phone rings, she gets up as she looks at Toga and she nods her head saying, just do it, Toga. As Izuku is just watching whatever movie they're watching. I'm gonna say he's just watching it like a casual person. As Toga, she says Izu. As he looks at her, as she says, what do you want, Toga? As Toga says, I've actually thought of something that I've been wanting to tell you. As she says, if you could come here, that'd be nice. As he gets up, on the other side of the couch, and says, it better not be a waste of my time. What is it? What's so important? As she blushes, saying, hey, stop rushing me. It's kind of hard, you know. As Izuku and Toga, would you say Toga? She says, I like you, Izuku. As Izuku says, what? And she says, I like you. Or, I think I love you. As she looks at Izuku. As Izuku, he's kind of shocked by this. As, you know, he never had any feelings for Toga. He never had feelings for anyone. As he says, what do you mean? You love me? As he says, not in a sister way. Or as a friend. But I want to make a family with you. As she blushes. As Izuku, he says, I don't feel the same way, Toga. As her heart breaks. As he gets up and leaves. As Toga starts, she's gonna start crying. I don't know. I guess. Tucker starts kind of tearing up as Inko comes back and sees this. As she says, what happened? As Toga says, he said he didn't feel the same way. And she says, but how? And she says, I don't know, Auntie. I just don't want to lose him. As Inko, she says, poor baby. And she hugged Toga. Yeah. And by this is the day Toga fell in love with Izuku Midoriya. And I'm going to stop that there. And we're going to time skip to the entrance exams. No, we're not going to time skip to no entrance exams. We're going to time skip to we're going to time skip. After all that, and Izuku is looking for class 1A because he got in. So he got 4th place. And, for hero points. He didn't go all out, beating the 0-pointer. Because, he don't got one for all. He can't got one for all. He can just untap that bit. So, yeah. Anyways, he still has that same vibe with him. As he gets in, sees my bad. As he gets in there, he sees Bakugo. As he says, damn. As he sees Shota. He just sees Bakugo and Ida going at it. Basically, in canon. But yeah. As he just avoids Bakugo, avoids eye contact with anybody, as he just goes to his seat. As I'm gonna say about after everyone gets done talking, Izuku just had his head down. The Shota Aizawa, the teacher, Aizawa just pops up as he says 15 minutes and 32 seconds is how long it took you to all be in your seats and shut the hell up. As he says 15 minutes. As he screams 15 minutes. As he says, that's 15 minutes of running. 15 minutes of saving someone's life. But you did all that. You were talking. As I was just like, Izuku's like, how can we save someone's life? We don't have no license or anything. And she says, this guy's too practical. Oh man, it's gonna be a pain in this class. As Izuku, he basically just let what you call it now. Or no, we're not that far yet. Yeah. Aizawa tells all of them to go get changed to their gym uniform and come outside to the testing ground. Yeah. Time skip to when they're all outside. Aizawa says, passes the ball to Bakugo. As he says, you scored 2nd place. He says, you scored 1st place. Let's see what you can do. As Bakugo says, hell yeah. As he says, whatever you... As he says whatever your record was in middle school, try to break that record. As he nods his head saying, I got it. As he throws the ball and dives and gets around, I think he got like 400 some meters in anime. I'm gonna say he gets around 500 this time. 532. As you know, Izuku says that's not too bad. As Bakugo walks past them, as he says, do better than that. As he basically says it to the whole class, basically like, nobody can beat my shit. I'm top notch. As you know, I bet y'all watching the video and share with me. Anyways, Izuku, it's his turn. As he basically he throws the ball around 800 meters, because he can usually lift a couple houses, like 1 or 2 houses. So that ball is nothing for him. So he casually throws it at 700 meters. I'm gonna say around like 60% of his strength. Yeah, 60%. That's the people. Right. And yeah, we're gonna say that Izuku, he says, "Fuck, I forgot my lunch." Usually mom packs it for me, but I guess I'll just have to go get my own since I'll be living here. As time skip. Or he, yeah. They get there. They get there. As they say, you know, like back to the classroom is what I mean. As they get back to the classroom, Aizawa explains the dorm system, and whoever can stay, you know, has to pay however much or whatever in jail, and everything is gonna be provided for them. So yeah, like a TV, food, drink, bath towels, all that shit will be provided. They just need to bring their own shit. Anyways, with this, we see that, you know, Izuku and a couple of, no, just Izuku. He lets his mom know that he's going to be moving out. They've introduced the dorm system. As he says, this will probably be his last week there with her and Toga. As he says Toga, hey mom, did you know that she liked me? As, you know, Ingo says, no, sweetie. As, actually, I'm the one who taught her to. As he says, fuck. As he says, I knew it. I knew it, mom. Why'd you do that? As she says, I thought you liked her, sweetie. You've been with her for a couple of months, and I thought she... And she says, no. You just made me hurt her feelings even more. We were already on bad terms. Now it's just going to be awkward when I see her. As Izuku, he says, I'll come by later today, pack up all my stuff. I'll be gone by the end of the week. As he says, I'll try to visit occasionally on weekends, but don't expect too much since I'll be training. As Izuku, he says goodbye, mom. As he hangs up the phone. And yeah. As he hangs up the phone, Bakugo says, "Hey." And Shizuku turns around and says, "What do you want?" And he says, "Do you think you're better than me?" And Shizuku shrugs her shoulders, saying, "Yeah, I think I'm the strongest one in the class." As he says, "Probably besides Todoroki." As he's Endeavor's child. As he says, "Fight me." As he basically rushes Izuku, basically trying to prove that he's better than Izuku. But Izuku just looks at him. Not even pity, it's like more of I feel bad for you, bro. You got some problems in your head type of situation. And, you know, he looks at him and she says, "Wow." And she says, "Bakugo, I'm pretty sure our moms are friends and they wouldn't like us fighting. Even though I don't really know you like that. This would be a great idea. Plus, we're on campus and using our quirk is illegal unless authorized by a higher being." As Bakugo scoffs, saying, "Got a point, nerd. Maybe." As he chuckles, saying, How the hell did you even get in UA? What's your quirk?" As he says, "You don't remember. It's telekinesis." As well, he says, "It's an atomic level." As he says, yeah. As Izuku basically, he basically says, "I'm gonna go get lunch. We can spar later if you want." As Bakugo looks at him, saying, "Is that a challenge?" As Izuku says, "I guess." Or he says it if that's how you want to take it. As we time skip to where Izuku just got home. As he is kind of avoiding Toga. As she says Izuku, Toga says Izuku. As he says what? And she says, "With my quirk and stuff, how am I supposed to?" It's basically she's trying to ask, like, how was she supposed to drink with the blood problem? As he says, "I'm not sure, Toga. Find someone else to do it." And she says, "Why would you even let me drink your blood if you didn't like me? You had all the signs, Izuku. Just why don't you like me back?" As she cries, as he looks at her, as he sighs, as he walks over to Toga, and she says, I don't really know, Toga. You just kind of remind me of a younger version of me, always nagging for something. You're always needing help with something. Not that I don't mind helping you. It's just, as she says, you never answer my question, Izuku. And she says, Izuku says, I guess I don't know why I don't like you, Toga. It's just, yeah. And he says, I'm sorry. As he packs up, he continues packing his stuff. As Toga says, how can I change your mind? As Izuku says, just give it time. I'll think about it. And she says, you will? As Izuku says, yeah, I'll try at least. If it doesn't interrupt my training. As she says, okay. But how? And she says, oh, in your blood problem. I'll try to see if I can come by every weekend or so. Maybe that should help. As she blushes, saying, yeah, hopefully. Time skip to where Izuku basically packed up all his stuff, and he's basically driving, him and his mom and Toga are driving to UA. As he says, well, this is it. As Toga says, I'll miss you, Izuku. As she gives him a big hug, as Izuku says the same thing. Toga, okay, this is the plot twist. Most shit, not plot twist, but the rising action, the change. Basically, Izuku, he says, hold on. Izuku says, Toga. He says, alright, Toga, I'll see you guys later. Bye, Mom. As Izuku says, no. Kirishima walks over to Toga. As he says, wow, you're smoking hot. Can I take you out one day? Can I take you out? Basically, I saw on a date. And as soon as Izuku heard this, he said, Toga wasn't going to say no. Toga was going to say no. And she says she already has eyes on something. As Izuku interrupts Toga, saying, dude, get your ass back over there before I beat the shit out you. As Kirishima doesn't take this well. It's like, who the fuck this nigga think he talking to, bro? As he says, that's your girl? If it is, then I'm bad, bro. But as he says, no, it isn't. Then he says, then why does it matter? She isn't yours. She isn't mine. As Izuku just says, Izuku nods his head. Well, he sighs as he walks away. As Inko says, come on, Toga, let's leave. As Kirishima and Izuku, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Alright. Time skip to where everybody is in the room and everybody's packed up, everything. As everybody's in a common room, Izuku's laying down, just moving stuff around with his telekinesis. As Kirishima walks in front of him, as he says, hey, I don't appreciate what you said to me. I'd like an apology. As Izuku stands up, saying, if you want an apology, he says, you're not getting a goddamn apology from me. As she said, as Kirishima shoves Izuku, as Izuku stops himself from falling using his telekinesis. As he says, you really don't want to fight me, bro? As Kirishima says, yeah, you're a pussy. As actually no. He says you don't want to fight. No. He said Izuku says that was a bad choice. As he socks the shit out of Kirishima. As Kirishima falls back. As Kirishima, he says, hell yeah. I haven't got to a fight for ages. Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. As he basically, grabs Kirishima with telekinesis. As he holds him, he just starts slamming him in the floor. And this wasn't even a fight. It was just a beatdown. As Izuku just slammed him, threw him around the room, threw him through a wall, threw him over the couch, threw him through the table, through chairs. Basically played with Kirishima, basically breaking his harness, as he has like a broken arm and a couple scratches and shit like that. As the teachers come, Aizawa comes and erases Izuku's court and like capture takes him. As he says, "What the hell are you doing?" As he's about to go, he says, "Ah man, who the hell caught the teachers?" As Izuku, he sighs, say he started it. As he says, "Yeah, and I'm finishing it." As he says, "You're suspended for a week. Get the hell out." As Izuku just like, what the fuck? As he says, "A week? I didn't even start the damn fight. He came and shoved me in." As Aizawa says, "Are you picking a fight with me, kid?" I don't think it's what, as he says, "Are you picking a fight with me, kid?" As Aizawa basically looks at him as he says, no, Nezu says, "Aizawa, calm down, young Midoriya. Would you please come to my office?" As he comes to his office in time skip. Basically, Izuku went home and they suspended him for a week. Basically. But yeah. Izuku, as he's home, he says, "Mom, I'm home." As she hugs him, saying, "Are you okay? What happened? Why'd you get into a fight with that boy?" And she says, "Who'd you even fight?" And she says, "It was the same kid from the parking lot." One, as Izuku's Inko says, "The one who was sitting on Toga?" As she says, "Yeah." And she says, "Look at you getting defensive." As Izuku blushes, saying, "Come on, Mom, you're doing too much." And just as he says in his head, he was like, "Why did I do that?" This nigga wondering, why did he do that over a girl he doesn't like? Now, Toga overhears this, and she's actually kind of happy by this, as she thinks it means that Izuku's kind of liking her a little bit, getting to know her, or he already knows her, but coming closer and liking her more on some shit. But yeah. Anyways, time skips that night. Izuku, I'm gonna say just a Saturday night or a Friday night, but Saturday, it's like early, it's at like probably 2-3 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning. Izuku wakes up as he wakes up from Toga. As Toga just basically wakes him up. As she says, "Izuku, can I?" As he says, "Sure, I don't mind, Toga." As he looks away and takes his shirt off. Basically, she just go, basically suck the nigga blood, basically. As he says, "Hey, Toga." As he says, "Do you think you consumed enough of my blood to lose my court?" As she says, "Oh, I've never thought about that." Or she says, I haven't thought about that, Izuku. But we've been doing this for a long time, so I should." As she says, "I should have enough to use your quirk." As she stops, as she says, "Let me see." As she telekinetically, basically just, I want to say she just like moves his desk forward a little bit and levitates him a little bit as it stops. And she says, yeah, I can. Oh my God, Izuku, your quirk's pretty cool. As she says, you could move anything? Why didn't you ever tell me that? As for teacher says, I have a weight restriction. And she says, you're lame, Izuku. As he says, but hey, Toga walks up to Izuku and she says, I heard you got into a fight. Is that why you're here? As Izuku blushes, and yeah, it doesn't matter. And she says, who did you fight? And he says, it doesn't matter, Toga. Leave me alone. And she says, you always do that. Every time we were doing good, why did you can't just shut and run out, Izuku. As she slams the door and leaves. Alright, time skip. Like early into the morning, like probably around 7:30, 8, around there. Izuku, he asks his mom, or Inko asks, would they like to go to the beach? As they say sure. They both say sure. As Inko says, Toga, we'll go get you some swimming. I forgot what they call it. I forgot what the motherfuckers called. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Them motherfuckers. Yeah, I don't know what they're called. Like, yeah. Bikini. Yeah, that's what it's called. As Toga says, okay. As Izuku says, when are we going? As he says, probably earlier today. And there's going to be no one out there. So around maybe 7:30 when everyone's going home. As Izuku says, alright. Izuku says, alright. And yeah. Alright, time skip. It's about that time. As, Toga. What was gonna say? She got kind of like a skirt. A skirt, bikini on, basically. I don't know if y'all know what a skirt bikini is, but it's that, basically. Yeah. But yeah. He basically, I think that really just an action story. Really a romance. It's not ain't really gets into action like that. Like, a little bit. It's just romance. Yeah. What the fuck going on with the fan, bro? Alright, anyway. Izuku sees Toga's bikini as, or whatever, skirt. Or it's kind of like a skirt she has on the bikini. And then she just has like the regular top thing. As Izuku sees this, he's like, wow. As he blushes. As Toga says, what do you think, Izuku? As he sighs, saying, it doesn't look too bad on you, Toga. As he says, he just says, alright, Mom, I'm not going to water. As they haven't really been to the beach in ages. So Izuku just kind of relaxing in the water. Toga's never been to the beach. So she's kind of happy, actually. So it's like a new experience for her. And she's splashing around, telling Izuku to play with her, stuff like that. And yeah. But they just enjoy their time and have fun, basically. But yeah. Anyway, this is probably gonna be like three parts, because it's really just like a romance. Nah, I can't do that. Gotta throw some action in this bit. Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to it. As let's say toga and there isn't really there is nothing later on. There is the people at the beach and it just isn't how many was. Like there isn't like it isn't like always booming type shit. It isn't like always it isn't like peak hours, that's for shit. So like yeah. Anyways, he just anyways, Izuku he just chills as he asks Toga to, or Inko tells Toga and Izuku to go get her some snacks and go get them all some snacks basically. As Toga says okay. As she says, come on Izuku, grabbing his hand and bringing him along. Now they're in like kind of like a store area, as you know, he kind of just like shopping for like regular snacks and shit like that, chips, candy, stuff like that, drinks. I won't say as they're shopping, it's mostly Toga grabbing snacks. Yeah, Izuku is kind of just like standing back behind her as she says, what do you think about these, Izuku? As he looks at her. And she says, Toga. As she says, yeah. As he says, never mind. Those look good. Come on. As he basically leads the way and telling her, yeah, let's go. Now, as they're going back to like take the snacks back to the beach area that they're at, we'll say a couple guys, maybe around like second years or third years, they hit on, wait a minute, because if I do that third year shit, that's gonna be a case. So we're just gonna say second years, a couple second years, like 1/3 year, and a couple first years. And this was just a gang of people, and they just, asked Toga, ditch this guy. Come on, let's play on the beach with us. We're totally more cool than this dude. Or some shit. As Toga says, no, I'm fine. As she holds on to Izuku's arm, saying, we're kind of dating, As Toga blushes, as Izuku, a slight blush gets on Izuku's face. As he says, you're dating this puny little bitch? Wasting my goddamn time. As they all walk away, as a couple trash cans lift up from the ground, as Izuku won't just want to take that shit, I'm not gonna hold you. That's as Toga tells Izuku, alright, come on Izuku. And she just brings him on. And she says, hey, we aren't dating, I hope you know that. And she blushes and yes, I know. It's just, well, what else was I going to say? Izuku, and why didn't you say anything? You're supposed to protect me, As he says, yeah. As they get out of there, as they get back to the campus spot or the beach spot and continue their fun day. We said they're just all walking home as Izuku, or they all get like an invitation thing, like someone just hands them an invitation thing. It's to the firework, like you don't even want to like the kimonos and shit like that. The fireworks show, that shit is basically the festival, the big festival, or some shit, or like the yearly festival or some shit. It'll be happening in 2 weeks. Yeah, they just want everybody to know. But yeah, anyways, Izuku, he just chills as he just, he sits there and chill as he says Toga. Toga says, Izuku, what are you going to tell me at the store? And she says, he looks at her. And she says, nothing. It doesn't matter now. And she says, okay, fine. And yeah, time skip. Time skip like a couple days. As this is, we'll say 2 days before Izuku gets back from this week of, actually, I don't want time skip that far. I'm gonna say time skip like 2 days, yeah. Time skip 2 days. So yeah. Anyways, Izuku, Izuku basically just chills and he just like for the rest of those days he's just talking with Toga, basically. As he says, I'm gonna miss this being at home with you guys. As Toga blushes, and she says, then why'd you move out, Izuku? As Inko, he was like, why did Toga say that? As he says, as he gets up and goes to his room. As he says, Inko says, dang it, Toga, you just had to say that. As she says, go fix it. It isn't your fault. As, Toga basically just like, she just basically goes up there. And basically, Izuku, she tries to talk to Izuku. But Izuku really doesn't want to hear her talk right now. But yeah. Anyways, probably go in 48 minutes, yeah. So yeah, I'm probably on this for like 5 minutes. But yeah. Anyways, let's go on time skip to the last day of like his detention. ISS or OSS. OSS. Anyways, Izuku, he says, damn, my bad, y'all. I'm sleepy. Izuku basically he says, as he gets back into the classroom, we're just gonna top skip right now. He says, I apologize, Kirishima, for acting the way I did. As he says, it's fine. As he just apologizing. That's it. But alright, now we time skip to where now there's this day. You know how it's like the festival, AUA, Or say there's multiple days like that. It's like visitation days, party days, stuff like that. No, just like chill days or some shit. I'm gonna say Wednesday is invite your family day, kind of. As yeah, it's kind of like an invite your family day. As Izuku, yeah, Izuku and his mom, or Izuku basically brings his mom and toga. Well, he brings his mom, but his mom brings that. But yeah. Anyways, they basically, basically introducing themselves. Basically, showing, basically, yeah. As you know, Izuku, he's like, this is my mom, and this is Ziggy. Like, it was like they were all going across the room, Hey, this is my mom, this is my dad, this is my little brother, all some shit. Hope y'all get what I'm saying. Just introducing their family. Well, the people they have with them, let me say that, not family. But just like the people they have with them. But when it gets to Izuku's turn, he says, this is my mom, Inko, and this is Toga. As Kirishima and Toga lock eyes, as she looks away, as Kirishima chuckles. Hell yeah, she wants me. As Izuku, he like, nah, he's not talking about Toga. He's not talking about Toga. Like, he looks at Kirishima. It's Kirishima. It's like, what, bro? He just shakes his head. And she says, well, basically just explain, what they're doing here and, like, how important that person is to them. As she says, wait, what's her name? Momo says, are you guys dating? Like, asks Toga and Izuku that. As, Toga, she shakes her head, no. Or Izuku not shakes his head, no. Toga says it's kind of Izuku, Momo says, Mina says, how complicated is it? As Izuku blushes, stop being involved in my personal life. As Izuku and Toga look at each other. As he says, fuck. As Izuku, he blushes from this, saying, I don't know why I tried to hide it. I just was scared. I guess, I don't know. As times go, Izuku and Inko are leaving the UA building facility thing, whatever. Izuku, he basically says, what time is it? Damn, it's 5:18. I'm not going to make the video. Izuku, he stops Toga when she was about to leave. She says, he says, Toga, do you want to go to the fireworks show with me next week? Or Friday? As she blushes, saying, sure, Izuku. As they get back in their car, Inko and Toga get back in the car and leave. As Kirishima, actually, no. Kirishima asks Toga that, and Deku overhears it. And Inko says, Toga, maybe it's time you try to find somewhere else. Lady Izuku, just give up on him for now. As Toga says, you know, Toga says, maybe you're right, Inko. Fuck. Says, maybe you're right, Inko. As you know, Inko, she says, well, okay, I see you later, sweetie. She's talking to Izuku. As Izuku basically just, basically looked at Kirishima. And she says, bro, what are you doing? And she says, what do you mean? Kirishima says, he says, I'm not talking to your girl. You guys even said that you weren't dating. So what's the issue, bro? Am I bothering you? As Inko sees this, as she says, come on, Izuku, let's maybe try to go get something quick to eat before we get you back. And she says, as Izuku says, nah, Mom, I'm cool. And she looks at Kirishima and walks off. As you know, you take Kirishima and Toga, as you know, they're going to the firecracker day, or firecrackers. When they pop them into the festival, they gonna go Kirishima and Toga. And Izuku is just mad by this shit. He doesn't know why he's mad. He's just angry at Kirishima. Yeah. I think I'm gonna leave it off right there. I'm gonna go make another video. It's not gonna be part 3 to this. This will be another video. But yeah.